Somebody had recommended this video here, and it looks interesting. I think it's about they
Talk to you guys about something I've decided to call the what about
me effect. What? Oh, she doesn't have any earbuds in, and I'm curious about that. And so was the person who sent it to me. I think it was August. So let's see about the what about me effect. Let's see, what is it about? What about me?
I want to talk to you guys about something I've decided to call the what about me effect. The what about me effect basically combines individualistic culture with being chronically online. And it is
I like that. I like calling out chronically online behavior.
Rampant on TikTok.
Okay.
And I feel like it's very easy to write it off as like a lack of common sense or critical thinking, but I don't think it's that. So before I continue, I am going to explain what this actually is. The what about me effect is when someone sees something that doesn't really pertain to them.
Okay.
Or they can't fully relate to, and they find a way to make it about them.
Okay.
Or try to seek out certain accommodations for their very nuanced, personalized situation. Okay. Instead of recognizing that maybe they are just not the target audience for that thing. I will give you an example. If anyone has seen the bean soup video, where this girl, she makes like a bean soup that's high in iron to help with your period.
Have you seen the bean soup video?
I have, and now that's made me more excited to make my bean soup mix that I bought.
Give me a rundown on it, because I haven't seen it.
From what I recall, is this girl makes a bean soup, and like she said, like describes all the ways that like it's helpful for you, and that you eat it while you're on your period. And after your period, because the beans
on your period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything
That's
else?
it.
So is it like a hot controversial video?
It sounds like it might be. I don't know.
Was it to you when you watched it?
No.
Then that means it's not, and that everybody else is an idiot.
Well, let's see what she's...
And it has like a gajillion different beans in it, and it's called bean soup. And she got all of these comments being like, well, what should I do if I don't like beans? Well, how do I make this without the beans? Can you substitute?
Move on. Move on. We were talking before. You were like, hey, sometimes we both use the word like a lot. If you don't like it, just move on. It's not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just move on. It's not everything has to be for you. That's a good point. People bitch about everything. I mean, I am a commentary content creator. I bitch about everything. But also I do a lot of conversational stuff. That's the point. We're going to pretend that I don't do anything wrong. Yeah, if you don't like a particular way that somebody engages with something, or the content might just not be for you. Yeah, it's like, I think I've seen that before. I was like, oh, I don't really like this, but this just isn't for me. And you just move on. Not everything needs to be a fucking crybaby meltdown. Not everything needs to be a social, political, fucking deep-seated content. It's a bean video. It's not the same as somebody saying that they want to restrict rights from a particular group.
The bean video? Does anybody have the bean video? Because I actually watched it and was like...
You liked the video?
Yeah, I wanted to make it.
How long ago did you watch it? Is that why you got a bunch of beans?
No, I got a bunch of beans because at the pickle festival, I was miserable. And there was this lady, and she had a bunch of different soup mixes. And they had things that I wanted to buy, but I knew you wouldn't eat them, so I didn't get those.
Oh. Well, you said you couldn't get any pickles.
No, I couldn't get any pickles because the lines were like over an hour.
Yeah, because they let too many people in.
Bro, did you see when you were typing it in what came up in the search bar?
What? What? Bean Boozled?
No.
Beanie Baby?
No, it's not there right now.
I don't know. Bean iron soup? Is that what it is?
What was in the search bar? You didn't type it.
Okay, is this the video that we're looking for?
I don't know. I haven't watched it in weeks.
Is this it?
Sure.
The high iron soup you need to eat on your period.
Is this the video?
Yes.
So basically, I just soaked these beans overnight, drained them and rinsed them. Now I'm adding 8 cups of water and a chopped up onion.
Ew, I don't like onions. How do you make it without the onions?
You're going to bring this to a boil. And then once it's boiling, cover this and simmer on.
The top comment is, can I substitute the beans with something else? Hey, hey, this pizza looks really good. Can I do it without the bread somehow?
Low for 90 minutes. Stir it periodically so it doesn't stick to the bottom. And then this is when I like to prep my kale. I try to shove as much kale in there as possible, rip it up in little pieces. This is where a lot of that plant iron is going to come from. So after the timer's up, add your kale, a can of diced tomatoes, garlic powder, chili powder, some smoked paprika. This came with like a vegan ham packet, so I added that in as well, and the juice of 1 lemon. Stir that up, cover it, and simmer it again for 30 minutes, and then it's all done. This is what it's gonna look like.
People use their microwave for more than 2 minutes? That's fucking crazy, dude. I thought that would make it explode.
It's so good. I like to serve it with some basmati rice, and I eat this the entire week of my period to get all that good plant iron.
All right, cool. Hopefully we don't get DMCA'd on the fucking song. That's the video? What's problematic about that?
Nothing. She was saying how as an example, like people are in there, like this is a recipe for bean soup, and they're asking all of these questions.
Yeah, like, can I have
she's saying, like, if you don't like bean soup, then just like move on.
Yeah, just don't make a bean soup. Look up, oh, can I do it without beans? What do you want to use it? I want beef. Look up a beef stew.
Yeah, and when you were searching for the video on TikTok, I was laughing because things that were coming up said like flicking the bean videos and stuff like that.
You should not be looking that up on TikTok.
Shoot the beans instead of just saying, hey, if I don't like beans, maybe I shouldn't watch this bean soup video.
True.
Like I said, very easy to write that off as a lack of common sense, but I don't think it's a lack of common sense. I think it's this individualistic culture that we have created in the United States and maybe elsewhere. I don't know. I don't live elsewhere. I live in the US and I see it running rampant here, where we make everything about ourselves.
I feel like this is TikTok. It's not even like a US thing. It's a TikTok thing.
100%.
Where everybody
yeah.
needs to feel like they're being included in everything.
And I think that TikTok is such a large platform that it is infiltrating everything else.
True,
but I think
yeah,
that this is like
That's
the
fair.
core. This is the like the nest where it's all.
There's plenty of
festering.
videos that I watch where I look at it and I go, I would never do this or relate to this, but it's an interesting watch, and then you just move on. People just feel the need to forcefully include themselves into everything. Not everything needs to be for you. And I understand that we live in a generation of like inclusivity culture, which isn't bad always. But that inclusivity is like, oh, this space isn't super affirming of gay people. We should force inclusion here. That makes sense. You're talking about fundamentally denying somebody based on like an intrinsic, immutable characteristic. But when it's like, oh, I don't like beans, just shut the fuck up. Nobody that doesn't like beans is oppressed. You know what I mean? Just shut the fuck up.
And seek out accommodations and validation for everything. And before someone makes this about something it's not, I'm coming to you as a leftist who cares a lot about equity and inclusion. So those are not the things I'm talking about. I'm talking about when I sit down after a long day and I come onto God's internet and I see videos that are like, here's how to put your hair up into a really cute hairstyle. And
Can you do this hairstyle if you're bald? Because I would really like to participate in that.
comments and it's like, what if I'm bald? Imagine, I have a gluten intolerance. If I went on every single video of someone baking bread, I'm on cottagecore TikTok, okay? It's everywhere.
Fuck, you on that?
And I was like, well,
What the fuck is cottagecore TikTok?
like cottagey.
I thought they were talking about
Lifestyle
cottage
TikTok.
cheese.
No.
Oh, okay.
I can't have gluten. That would be ridiculous. I can just go watch videos of people making gluten-free bread.
True.
So when you come onto this app and you see a video and you have the urge to
Wasn't
comment
a
something like,
natural thing, by the way.
What's that?
Gluten-free bread. What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Bread is gluten. You know.
I don't even understand what
It
gluten
sounds
is.
like if you need to be gluten-free, you're just not meant to have bread. You know.
Yeah, right. Just have peanuts. Oh, I have a peanut allergy. Pathetic. You know, like, oh, wow. Maybe.
Maybe you were meant to have peanuts, if you
Maybe-
know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Maybe your body's just not strong enough.
Damn,
Maybe
I
it's-
could go for some peanut butter.
Ooh, yeah. I wish we had more chunky peanut butter, but you always yell at me.
I literally didn't know that you like chunky
I
peanut
love
butter
chunky
until you
peanut butter.
mentioned it like last week. Because
Yeah.
who likes chunky peanut butter?
I do. I like chunky. I like my peanut butter like I like my girls. A little chunky, creamy, and and just real wet on top. You know what I mean? You ever get that cheese, the peanut butter oil on top? Nah, I don't really like that, but I like the Costco brand Spam they stopped making, where it had like a thick gelatin layer, gelatinous layer on top. Thank you. I used to love that. I would eat it with. It was like an appetizer. Oh, so good.
well, what about my very specific scenario? Or, well, not everyone can blah, 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 blah. I'm going to encourage you to stop, use your noggin, and remember that things are nuanced. Not everything can apply to every single person, and there doesn't always need to be a specific accommodation for you.
Yeah.
Love you, bye. I want to talk.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it is kind of a culture of people who are too sensitive and desperate to be included in every group. Again, I understand inclusivity for especially marginalized groups, but if for people that don't like have different food tastes, like you could shut the fuck up. You're not being excluded based on like anything that's about you in any way. You just don't like beans. You could eat them, but you just don't like them.
It's like weird. I feel like maybe what's happening is like people take like advocating for themselves like too hard. Like
Sure.
there are situations where you just need to smile and say thank you and move on.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, absolutely. You know, they'll advocate like, "Where's my wet wall? Can I make the beanless bean soup?" But then they won't advocate for their fathers to love them. You know, sad stuff, guys. But okay, interesting little watch.